In the second stage of the killings at Chełmno in June and July 1944, the procedure differed. In April 1943, the Nazis blew up the manor house at Chełmno, thinking it wouldn't be of any further use. Doing so, they blew up an entire transport of people whom they were unable to kill in any other and dispose of the bodies in any other way, because there was nobody left working on the destruction of bodies. That transport as well, they were typhus ridden. They put them in the building and blew it up. When people were deported here again the second time round, for example from Łódź, people took the train to Koło. From there they took the narrow gauge railway to Chełmno. They got off the train and took the 400 metre or so walk from there to the church. At the church they spent the night. They loaded people into the church. There could have been as many as 3,000 people in that church at one time. Then they took them in groups which they could kill successfully by lorry to this spot approximately 4.5 kilometers down the road. There they had a barrack where people entered in the same procedure. Doctor going to be seeing them and all the rest of it. They undressed, then they went down a tube onto the back of the into the wagon, which was locked, and they were gassed, and the bodies were destroyed by burning. Sonderkommando, responsible for destruction of the bodies, was actually kept in the granary next to the palace. In January 1945 they murdered 47 members of this group. Two survivors. One survived, he was shot, Simon Srebnik, who was in the film Shoah. Standing at this point now, just looking, these are bone fragments. And see how brittle they are. I'm not going to break it, I feel. So I'm not respect for people. But these are from people's bones, from the body. It's not that. Now you get these people who say that the Holocaust didn't happen. I mean, how do they explain that? And these were probably just the chips that escaped. Which they'd have pounded them, they'd have put the bones into the mill, and then they'd have collected the chips like that. But some of it would have escaped, like in any, if you're in a sawmill or something like that, things will escape, and they jump out. And these are the bits that missed the bags that were loaded into, and then taken further away. The German forester May mentions this, of the bones which had been milled, and how the Nazi commandant Botman showed him some of the milled bone. A prisoner brought the bone to him. Sadly, Botman made a joke about it, his people of his nationality, and the gentleman concerned acknowledged he was going to end up the same way. bone fragments of people murdered here in Chełmno, not there. Put them back where I found them. I thought I should bury them. But they absolutely litter the place here. This is the area where one of the crematoria was. Open air, 5 meters across, some of them. Could have been 3 or 4 meters deep. Air ducts went in, like this. I don't know if this is original or not, but it's been here. Pipes, which took air in. They found that the more air you delivered to the burning bodies, the easier they burned. Chełmno was seen as being the expert place on the destruction of bodies. Rudolf Höss came up here from Auschwitz on the 15th of September 1942 to see how they were doing it and to use the same technology for himself. See, the ground here is sand. Sand was used. Layers of sand and lime were actually laid on top of the corpses. The commandant of this camp was a man called Botman, born on the 7th of November 1911, an early member of the SA and the SS. It would seem he was quite well in with Himmler, because towards the end he was working as in the communications department of Himmler's headquarters, the radios or something of that nature. He certainly, Himmler, in the first week of May 1945, went up to the new German government of Dönitz in Flensburg, seeing if he could be of any assistance. We know that Botman was with him. Previously, Botman, after being here, he'd till April 43, he'd gone off to Yugoslavia. He'd participated in the war against the partisans. He returned here in June and July 44 to continue murdering people. Himmler had his headquarters as such. They all split up. Himmler made his way west, south and west. He was captured trying to get over a bridge by a British army. He stood up